गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आज हम सेल्सफोर्स में जो एमएनसी टॉप कंपनी एमएनसी है जैसे इन्फोसिस, टेक महिंद्रा, कोग्निजेंट, इसमें सेल्सफोर्स एडमिन और डेवलपर के कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछे गए थे। तो वो क्वेश्चन लिस्ट है, तो देखते हैं। सेल्सफोर्स एंट्री क्वेश्चंस इन टेक महिंद्रा। What are the content variables of triggers? Next, approach the process, walk me the thought. What is the difference between the limit and offset keywords and way we use them? Next, if I have to the write a query for a set of records from an object where I want to see only next 30 records after skip, skipping of first 20 records. Next, how you process of displaying information of the parent's object fields on child's object details page. Next, difference between the lookup and master details. How to create a master details relationship for exiting records of 20 objects which are the having lookup relationship. Next, how to avoid to the recursive triggers. Next, how to import that custom logic for the Visual Force page as assigning standard controls. How to override the methods in the standard controller and have custom logic for some methods. Next, what is the limit size is the extensions we cannot have. Next, if I have some methods with the same prototype on all the classes of the extensions which on the execute. If the order of the custom logic executions on the Visual Force page. Next, what is the difference between the render and the renders? Next question, what is the difference between the page, block, table and the data tables? Next, how many records can be the display on the Visual Force page? What is the limit? If I want to the display more, how to the it, and what is the maximum limit? What is the difference between the actions function and the actions support? What is the of actions foreign? What are the type of the custom setting and how it differ from of the custom object? Next, what is a MVC medals? How Salesforce is accommodated on that? Next, what is the remote actions? I can add the Java code, not JavaScript, execute on of the Visual Force page. What is the difference between the workflow triggers and the process builders? What is the select list and select options? Next, what is the difference between the input text and input feeds? Next, what is the use of Apex, Rebate and write our case dealing with custom control to display a set of the records with ID name, phones, and address in the columns and from tables. How to pass the ID from the Visual Force page to the Apex class. Next, what is the what is the what is the difference between users made mode and the system mode? Next, what is the use of the sharing and without the sharing keywords? Next, what are the best practice you follow while writing the triggers? It is a possible to the update the child subject feeds info thought or flow on parent subject, and what is the case is a resource. Next, in which conditions we cannot perform at a dependent actions. Next, what is the difference between every time edit and subsequent criteria meet edit of workflow right? What is the use of view state? I can display a class without the having its class when my org has test coverage of the 75. It is possible to display triggers without it is a text class if org has code cover of 75, if not the but is a minimum code coverage to display what is the use of the global keywords, what is the bucketing of in the Salesforce, how to throw and errors from the triggers. Next, uh, Honeywell company questions. What is the difference between the role and the profiles? What will happen if we don't assign to role to particular users? When do you go to full workflow and when do you go for triggers? How how do you decide? What are the governor limits? What are the best of the practice you follow and avoid hitting this limit? Next, what is the minimum code coverage required to the development? What are the way you deploy? What are the collection in the Apex? What is the their different and how you decide when one to use? What is the custom setting? How it will differ from the custom object? Can you give me one scenario when you the will we go for the custom setting, not custom object? What are the advantage and uses of the batch apex and decide the how to work? One account object at one feeds. I would like to display related list of assignment of records. How will you the approach it? What is the difference between the SQL and SOSL? Next, what are the different Ajax functions? How will you approach for the requirement of the spectral represented on the Visual Force page? Can we use method? Can you use standard control and the custom controllers together on object? One click of save. If have a redirect to the will use the approach. What are the web leads and the web case in Salesforce? How to do it? How to make leads to the assigned to the based on the conditions? What is the custom graphics dashboards? We have standard dashboards but if we want to the custom charts in the template to the download, how do you would you approach it? Next questions. When do you go for import wizard and data loaders? What is the different how you expect data loaders? Salesforce. Email queries from the peoples are coming or open the company and add business unit. How would you address the concern queries? All 8 unit have the other one instant. How you would how will you approach to the resolve this issue? How will you how will you write the case from the master instant to the all unit of term to the handles? How you work on the single sign on host.com and community charters? How would you implement of the payment and gateway in the Salesforce? It is possible for the user to the one of the records and still not able to see. If you are the in chart changing fields type of types, will there to be any data loss? For example, from the number of the exit, once you the covered leads into the opportunity. How does it choose the records type in the opportunity? How to change the value in the status fields of reads and object? Can we add and over the one value? Can you example? Can you explain the MVC and how it is a work for the Salesforce? Can you include the Java code in the Visual Force page? Can you tell me something about the external ID and how to make it the unique? Records assigned to the users. If users deactivated records, should we go back to the queue? How would you approach it? While creating a new records, the object should go to the standard and details page, but while updating it should go to the custom visual force page. How would you approach? Next, Salesforce integrations and Virtusa company के questions है. And productions OSG we have a 98 or of code coverage, and we are the trying to move Apex class and triggers thought the changing the set without any text class. Will they be deployed? If not, what is the minimum code coverage and required to the deploy them? Next questions. When we have a standard controller and the extensions features in the user force, what is the need to the custom or controllers? What is the bucketing features in the reports? Can we do the refresh for the dashboards? How do you do? One, what basic you will be decide to that you need custom profiles when you have a standard Salesforce profiles. Next question, what is a wrapper class? What is the image to the case in the Salesforce? How you implement in the how you ways we can invoke the project process. When I create a custom object, what is a default or WD access for it? Next question, what is the difference between the is blank and is null? Next, one account object for the standard status feeds if schedule in pending, not the change for the 70-day. I want to the status feeds to the change in not the 8 approve. How to you approach? Thought is lives. How can you delete the class in the productions? Next, I have action in the visual force page and hitting get methods in the controller class, and I have the constructions in the controller class. Which one of the will be hit first in a single DML statement? How can I insert both parents and the child's records at a time? Can we do or not? What is the triggers old and triggers now new? If want to the insert the contracts through the futures methods, how would you do it? Can we call futures methods from the batch apex? How to invoke the apex class from the process builders, and if I have to the pass parameters to the class, how will do? Next, Infosys company. What is the what is with sharing and without the sharings? How general class mode will be run? What is the difference between the system mode and user mode? Explain me in case of the how sales cloud work on with the flow of the object. What is use of the global keywords? What is happen if we do not give? What are the web to leads, web to the case, and the escalation source? Extensions classes use limit and purpose, and they are the orders. Can we use both the standard controllers and the custom controllers together? What is the standard set and controller? Why we use it? About the functions using the standard and the custom controllers, how you do it? What is the know of the records can be display on the visual force page, and how to maximum it? Difference between the render and renders. Next, what is the use of the apex action? What action status? Can you give me examples? What is the difference between the actions and function and the remote actions? What is use of the actions, the support and apex facts? How to load to JavaScript and exiting? Where to the load them? Can you tell me syntax? What is the use of the system labels? How do you act across the in Apex classes and the Visual Force page? How to add errors or Visual Force page thought Apex classes and thought the Visual Force page? How to add an errors and thought the triggers? What are the common deployment issue you now? What are the best practice you follow and how is your the thought process keeping in governor limit in mind to write the triggers and classes? How would you the approach to the write text classes? What are the best practice? What is the states test setup and it is a purpose and how many we can have a single test class? What is you the approach during the peer code and review? What is the difference between the data loaders and the import wizard methods in batch class and how to invoke batch class from the another batch class? What is the happen in the invoke the batch class and from the execute and methods the author then finish the methods. Scope of the database batchables and interface. Next questions. Can I have a class implementing the interface methods, not implementing interface? Can I have a methods along with the interface methods and the other new methods also? Can you deploy other than using the change and set what is the visual course? Thank you, friends.